really correct me at all on anything that I was doing, so I'm just gonna do that, all right?
Okay, well, I'm not Robert.
Avionics on, headsets on, flaps up, radios on and set. Oh, we never did this. Enter, enter. There we go. What frequency is? Where is ATIS? Here we go. 119.275. Is that not it?
So I'm going to show you real quick. So I said I wasn't going to say anything, but here it is right here.
325, got it. And then, wait, shit.
So I'm just going to intervene really quickly. Yeah. So some of these audio panels are different. So the first thing is to make sure it's on COM 1. And if you're using COM 1 and it's set on COM 1, you can leave this on auto, and you don't have to have this pushed down. So, so this is auto on headphones. See, this says headphones.
Yep.
Density altitude -600. Automated weather observation.
And I'm gonna turn this off, Mark. See this nav 1?
Yep.
There's no reason for that to be set right now because that could start picking up a nav signal and bother you. So.
Temperature 14 Celsius. Dew point -03 Celsius. Altimeter 3049er. Remarks. Density altitude -600.
3049. It's right there. All right. We do have not. Our section is not green. That's not good.
Well, watch.
That'll increase with the.
Yeah, I mean, listen. You're in 19. What is the year of this plane? Sometimes these gauges, especially something like that doesn't work perfectly at idle.
Set. Landing indicator set. Alright.
So you set this.
Yep.
And we're within 75 feet of the airport elevation, which makes it legal. What is our airport elevation?
Isn't it 49 feet?
49 feet, so we're right at about, it looks like 40 to me. That looks great.
Alright. Test the brakes.
7,500.
Ever so gently.
So I'm not even going to, I'm just going to check mine. That would be foolish not to, right? Even though I'm not here. My brakes are fine. I'm going to give this back to you.
Got it. Thank you. All right. I am ready to taxi, but we have a traffic jam over here. So.
Okay, so before you taxi, what about, we don't want to keep listening to that, right? Because somebody could be telling us.
We do not. So we're going
to just hit the flip-flop switch.
Yep.
Okay, so now see what just happened? This guy just pulled the plane out into the taxiway and got out of the plane. I don't know what he's doing. He forgot something. So now, I don't know what's going on here, but he just cost you $10.
At the tow bar here. Okay.
I don't know what happened.
All right.
What is he doing?
Yeah, where's the volume one here?
Right here.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So he's really created a problem for himself. He's never getting that plane back in there. All right. So
we're not allowed to cut through, so.
Well, I will do that if the situation requires, because there are no planes behind us. Look behind us. So somebody's going to try and help him push that back. Our goal is to, why don't you get up here and turn
traffic caravan, hi,
yourself
runway 9er, cross keys.
into position perpendicular to where you are right now, so he knows not to pull that back out.
Left or right? Left, got it.
Yep. Yeah, we're just going to, so keep an eye on that truck because he's parked in a place that your wing normally goes, so that's not really a good thing, right?
Yep. All right, y'all.
I'm going to push this up just for the time being.
All right, we're taking off runway 1. Oh, no, it switched on me, huh? Taking off 19.
Well, I don't know that you really have a choice. Would it just pull the power back a little and let's see what the...
Flying W traffic, Cessna 12 Mike is about 5 miles to the north. It's going to enter right traffic for runway 1 and do a banner drop to the left of the runway.
Oh boy.
W.
Let's get the wind. What was the wind?
I believe it was 5 knots.
1732.
No, I mean direction. We should have...
Wind variable at 03.
Okay, so we don't know.
10.
Variable. Okay, let's go ahead for 1. Yeah, well, you got a banner drop coming on 1, and you got this guy, and everybody else here is using 1, so.
Got it. I mean, it was 1 like a minute ago, but the winds appear to have switched. I don't know.
Well, it says variable, so.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow.
That just means it's blowing around, and you can see it appears to be the windsock showing less than 3 knots, or 3 knots approximately. And
really?
so,
They said that was a 30-knot windsock, and Robert was having an argument on whether or not that's true. So.
well, it's got, you know, the segmented windsocks, that one looks like it's got a big wire basket in it that holds it open, but it's dead right now. Look at it. Okay, so be really careful going down here because we know the story about people hitting the vertical stabilizer and rudder on these planes, not paying attention. And again, another guy's got a car parked here, which is, you know, that really is the taxiway, sort of. But you did the right thing there. You just got to be careful.
Lakewood traffic, Saratoga, 4 to the northwest, inbound landing, runway 6, Lakewood.
I counted up. I think I have 37 hours.
You know how many landings you did?
No. No.
I thought we said you had done over 100, right? Okay, so I just saw this. Do you see anything weird in the sky right in front of you?
In front of me, we got broken clouds and...
Just look a little bit to
Oh,
the
I
left.
see him. Yep. Banner tower.
Yeah, so that banner drop, he's about, I don't know, he's still 5 miles away. He's going to come in, enter the left downwind and come across, or she rather, and they're going to drop that banner right in that field in front of us. So this is always, and so we can't take off until she does that.
You guys sit here?
No, you're going to do your run up. I'll just keep an eye on that, but it's kind of hard to see, but it's in the sky. And
Yeah, it's here.
And she did make a couple radio calls, so.
All right, here we go. Park and brake. We're going to set it, but I'm going to stay on the brakes because these planes always move.
You got it. That's right. These planes always move.
Cabin doors and windows.
You taught me that lesson that night, Mark.
Elevator trim, set for takeoff. Nice. Flight controls free and correct.
So, I told you before, make sure it's never hitting anyone's
Yeah,
iPad.
it's like hitting you.
How's your iPad search going?
We got one yesterday.
Okay, so.
$700.
Good.
All right, here we go.
Got to get your mom buying you something because you're going to be off her payroll soon.
Fuel quantity, check. I mean, it says it's good, but I mean, I did the visual check and everything. Fuel quantity check, mixture rich. Here we go.
Flying W traffic, Cessna 12 Mike is 2 miles to the north, entering a right downwind to runway 1 and doing a banner drop to the left of runway 1.
Magnetos. Here we go. It's good.
She said she was doing a right downwind?
It's good.
Or just,
Section gauge green.
yeah, here she comes. She is getting on a right downwind. There we go.
Boom, boom, boom. Green, oil temps heating up. All right. Amps. Go a little flick. There we go. Carb heat. Pull.
Let that run for a minute and just, you know, leave it there for 15 seconds and just convince yourself that nothing happened. There's no engine roughness. This looks good. Seems just fine. If it got rough, that might have been an indication there was some ice, but from the last person or from you, But that sounds good, so you can push that back in, and it went up 30 to 50 RPMs.
All right, we gotta pull the throttle all the way out here.
Why are we doing that?
Make sure we can conk out.
Yep.
All right. Go, throttle friction lock adjust, throttle friction's good. We're back to 1,000. And burn brake release, here we go.
Did you set your flight instruments?
Yeah, I checked, they look good.
Okay, good. I'm just asking you some questions while we're doing this.
Got it. All right.
So we're going to stay here.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to go do them somewhere else, but this is where you're going to be doing your solo, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
are we going to park here when we turn to face the runway?
you can do your B before takeoff.
Before takeoff, flaps up, visually confirm.
Yeah, always visually confirm.
Mixture rich, except for DA, carb heat, in, landing taxi.
What is DA?
On, density altitude.
Okay, what's our density altitude today?
I think it's just,
You don't know?
no, I don't.
Okay, we're going to find out. So just stop and we're going to redo that because we have time. Ready? Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's an ATIS.
Yeah.
Density altitude minus 600.
Okay, so just kind of remember that stuff because it's important.
Oh, we got an airliner and we got, I don't know who that is.
Okay, so do your before takeoff check again.
Yep.
Okay, so
strobes on, what is this one? Landing on.
so I just want to make sure this guy's listening to the radio calls. He's just going to cut in front of you.
Diamond 61 Mike Hotel, overflying the field at 2,000 feet.
Okay, now he's going to do something stupid probably. Let's go ahead and I'm going to turn you around.
Got it.
Just so they don't get in our way.
I'm off the brakes.
Flying W traffic, Cessna 12 Mike, turning right base for runway 1 to do a banner drop to the left of the runway, flying W.
Flying W 62862, White Sky, holding short 1 for banner drop.
All right.
Okay, you have the plane. I just want her to...
W traffic, what's the active runway?
Trim, yeah.
we're landing departing 1 at the moment, wind is variable, and there's a banner drop in progress. You have the brakes, buddy.
Yes, I do. Like 13 and a half, roughly, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, watch this, Mark. Just, if you're set up, just keep an eye on this. Man, she is really, really dragging that thing. So, she's shot way past, so
yep.
I don't understand. Maybe she's dropping it over there. I don't know. Usually they drop it this way, so she might be coming the other way.
She's not landing, so, okay.
No. Okay, here she comes. She's going to drop it.
She going
Maybe
over?
she's going to try and drop it on the other side near the woods. That doesn't make any sense. Just watch when she does this. This is crazy because she has to do a really big pull-up after she's done. And the wind is variable, so you just don't want this thing getting dropped on your head or getting caught. Look at these trees, man. Jeez, that is really close. That is a gigantic banner. So she's going to drop it in the field. Look over here, behind you. She's got to not hit any of these planes with that cable. Holy smokes. That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Are you done your before takeoff checklist?
Fuel's both, headings good. Transponder 1200 altitude, time document, VR5 US.
Right base, runway 1.
All right, someone's on
I don't
base.
see him. Let's get out of here. Flying W traffic 62862, departing 1.
Making
Ready?
right crosswind for runway 1. Flying W.
Right, someone's on crosswind.
That's just the banner drop plane.
I don't see anybody.
Yeah, I
on
don't see
base,
him either.
So I'm gonna trust in you on that one.
And
all right, here we go.
If he is on right base, he doesn't have a transponder. So just keep an eye out for any errant. So that's the banner drop plane. I don't hear the other guy that said he was in the Cirrus. Okay, all you, man.
All right, is you ready? Here we go. I'm just gonna do exactly what I did with Robert.
My check is complete.
All right, here we go. Green. And airspeed's green. And
right base, runway 1.
airspeed's good, rotating. Here we go.
Yeah, so that guy entered the pattern on a right base. So That's not really cool, but you know, you got to watch out for what's going on here.
Oh, she really wants to climb. My God.
Well, why is that?
Most likely the air density.
What was it? Minus 600 feet. If that makes it want to
Flying
climb.
W traffic, Diamond turning final, runway 1.
So he said Andover then just now, not flying W, right? You hear him? You got to listen to these radio calls.
Flying W traffic, Diamond Star 681, Delta Sierra, departing runway 1, northwest bound, flying W.
So that guy just pulled out onto the runway in front of this guy.
Come on.
So watch your ball, man. Watch your ball. It's a little windy and a little gusty. Nice and easy. You're doing fine.
There you go. Oh, this is a warm-up one.
Liquid traffic here to 4.5 miles to the south.
Well, the warm-up one that you're going to do on Tuesday is your solo, so forget about
Flying W
warming up.
traffic, Diamond 61 Mike Hotel on final, departing traffic on site, runway 1, flying W.
Yeah, there's no more warm-ups, dude. You got to come on Tuesday with your A game, right?
Flying W Skyhawk 862, turning downwind runway 1, flying W.
Alright, I'm getting buckled in here. There was
Flying W
an
traffic,
airman.
Cessna 12 Mike, turning right base, extended to
There was.
runway 1, flying W.
So you blew through your altitude by 200 feet, so just get that fixed because that's going to affect you from here on. Yeah, there was an air met for turbulence above 14,000 feet earlier today. I don't know if it's still in effect, but it's a little bumpy today.
Liquid traffic, Sirius is
Okay, so where are there planes in the pattern if you've been listening to the radio?
Left downwind.
There's a plane on final right now.
That guy's landing, so there was
a guy behind us, I believe.
there's a guy, the tow plane is in front of you, so there she is over there.
I see her.
So the banner tow is over there, so we don't want to make any turns until she
Flying
passes
W
your way.
traffic, Cessna 12 Mike on mile final for runway 1, full stop. Flying W.
So see where you got your power set?
Yep.
That's way too low, right? I know Robert's probably got you doing it at 15, right?
Yes.
I fly at 17. 15 is what this aircraft manual says, and it's really...
Flying W traffic, Diamond 61 Mike Hotel, clear runway 1, flying W.
Alright, we're going to turn after she passes us, right? So, here we go. Flying W Skyhawk 862, turning base, runway 1, flying W.
Seat low temperature, 2 minutes out, 2 minutes out. Please use caution on the counter. Sorry.
So I'm going to just intervene. I know it seems like we're descending, but you got to put your nose down a little bit because you just don't want to be stalling, and there you go, just a hair. And if you add a touch of power, that's why I fly it at 17. You'll be about 3 or 4 knots fast, but so you're about to blow through it.
I got it.
So that's sort of kind of overshot, right? We're almost over the barn. So we don't want to do this again.
Flying over top the area.
Flying,
Left downwind 496. Liquid.
Flying W Skyhawk 862, turning final, runway 1, flying W.
So next time I want to turn early and intercept that thing right on the runway line.
Got it.
There you go. Okay, so just do your check. Carb heat, mixture's full rich, flaps are set. Beautiful pitch attitude, I love this. Your airspeed is about 70, 68, and you can start working your power back just a hair because you're nice and lined up at the runway. And we want to touch down.
Flying W traffic, Cessna 12 Mike clear of runway 1.
We're going to do a full stop taxi back just like your solo is going to be. Now we got a little tailwind, so just, this is beautiful, Mark.
Damn.
That was beautiful.
That wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but whatever.
Do you have your insurance, by the way? Don't let go of this thing. Just use your nose wheel steering. Stay.
Cross-east traffic, that's no 172 at Foxtrot, 7 miles to the east, cross-east.
Just pull back, and man, that's a lot of shimmy. So, there you go. Okay. That's a lot of shimmy. That's the plane. That's just really common in Cessnas that get their nose wheels beat to crap, and they need to do a little work on that at the mechanic shop.
Flying W Sky 862 clear, runway 1, flying W.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you have your insurance done?
I don't know. You want to ask her right there?
No, you need to know, because Robert can't solo you until you have your insurance on.
Okay. Alright, clean the plane here. Up, in, trim down, lean. Lights are good. That's everything. Alright. Get back out there?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, we're going back out there. So, yeah, you need to make sure you get that if you don't already have it, because Robert cannot let you solo, so there's a half a dozen things you need in order to solo next week. Do you guys know what you need in the plane with you when you solo?
Headset, the book, the keys.
No, these are like really serious things. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just go over these, right? You need your logbook.
Yep.
You need the logbook has to have an endorsement for your solo, right? So you need your logbook, and you have to have it with you in the plane, and it has to have a solo endorsement in it, or you're not allowed to solo. You need a driver's license or other form of a government-issued ID, right? Got to be in the plane with you. What else do you think you might need?
My student pilot certificate, of course.
That is correct. What else might you need that goes along with that to make it legal for you to fly an airplane?
My medical.
Yep.
And the airworthiness certificate.
So these are just the things you need. So you need your ID, pilot certificate, student pilot certificate. You need your your FAA medical. You need a solo endorsement. You need it in your logbook, and the logbook and all that other stuff has to be in the airplane with you. And there's reasons for that. You can imagine somebody. Well, we won't get into that right now, but there's reasons it has to be in the plane with you. And then you need to have already done the pre-solo quiz and the aircraft type checkout per 6187B. And then we got all the aero stuff, so go over the aero stuff. That should always be in this plane, but what is it?
The aero stuff, the...
ARROW.
Oh, the,
You already...
aircraft registration.
Well, what's the first one?
Airworthiness.
Airworthiness. Registration. O is... Operating limitation.
Yes, operating limitation.
Right.
Operating handbook. And then W is...
Well, there's another R, but it doesn't apply to this plane because we're in New Jersey and we're not leaving New Jersey, but we need a radio station license if we're leaving the country.
Okay.
That's the second R. The first one's registration. The last one is the weight and balance.
Oh, yeah.
And all that is in this plane. We've looked at it before. It's in the book. So that's it. Pre-solo quiz and your aircraft type checkout form for 6187. And all of the training for the maneuvers you did has to be in that logbook. So we've done all that. We can review that again. Okay. I am going to do my check when you, did you do your pre-takeoff? Okay, go ahead.
So I'm just going to double check with the book. In, up, visually confirmed, up, both. Separate takeoff, heading is...
By the way, we had a little tailwind. That's one of the problems with variable wind is you can have a headwind to a tailwind. 13. We'll just stay with this traffic. Go ahead, finish your pre-takeoff checklist.
Manning, strobes, all lights are on, carb heats off, transponder tone altitude, time, document VR55, UI76. Got it. Alrighty. Flying W Skyhawk 862, departing runway 1, close traffic, flying W. Let's get out of here. Oh, cabin doors and windows. Close them.
Yep, thank you. You can fly this plane with the window open, and I do a lot in the summertime, but yeah, it's supposed to be closed and locked.
Alright, no turkeys on the runway. That happened yesterday. Well, they didn't make it onto the runway, but they were like right over there. Alright.
So what?
Airspeed screen and rotating.
Feel that vibration?
Yep.
What are we doing about that? You
Tap
touch
the brakes.
just real gently so you don't lose control. We don't want to be slamming the brakes, just really gentle. There's not a lot of mass to stop there. It's a small wheel, so really small touch of the brakes will do it. A nice even touch.
So Jersey traffic, Cessna 734 Whiskey Sierra, about 7 miles to the south, inbound for landing, South Jersey.
Cross-East traffic, South 261, I'm 8 miles to the east, inbound, runway 9, Cross-East.
South Jersey Regional Traffic, November 20105 is taxiing to runway 8 for a left downwind departure towards the east, South Jersey.
Runway 4, full port.
So one of the test questions that you had not answered for me last week was, they were questions about listing procedure of, flying the pattern and whatnot before landing. So why don't you just call out what you're doing the whole time? And that'll shut me up and we can answer those questions.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 turning a base, or not base, correction, downwind, runway 1 flying W.
That's good.
Jersey traffic, Cessna 734 Whiskey Sierra,
What's the matter with that?
to the south, inbound for landing.
I'm making comments without talking. I have hand gestures.
Flying W traffic, arrow 10 east, inbound.
This means pull the power back. This means heading. That means, hey look, there's Atlantic City.
Crest East traffic, 681 Hotel, short 9, Crest East.
So we're heading in on a little bit of an angle, and that's going to make your base leg short, and you're going to overshoot again. So I'm just giving you some pointer. There you go. Not a lot. 5 degrees. Because it turns out the wind was coming from that way, so it's pushing you into the final approach course.
South Jersey Regional Traffic, Skyhawk 20105, back taxiing runway 08 for a left downwind departure, South Jersey.
SQ 1000 feet will be inbound landing.
Just a minor descent rate.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 turning base, runway 1 flying W.
Miles to the south, flying over the field for teardrop to the left downwind for runway 08 South Jersey.
Remember, the wind is pushing you that way right now, so just kind of turn right over the top of Kirby's Mill and let the wind just push you right out into the, this is going to be perfect. So now you see the big difference between intercepting from the pattern side and having to do that dog leg turn.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 on final, runway 1 flying W.
Okay, this is where I just relax. I'm the passenger.
Do it. Stop talking.
See the windsock, right? I'm not giving you a lot of information. It looks pretty calm.
Cross-East traffic, South 261, right downwind, runway 9, Cross-East.
So you're going to use the whole runway here, right?
Flying W traffic, arrow 5 east, inbound will be entering 45 for right downwind, runway 1 flying W.
So you landed on the nose wheel. That's okay. So we're just going to pull back and we're going to just very gently get back on the brake. So that was a really hard landing on the nose wheel. So we're just going to gently slow ourselves down so we can turn off here. So I was going to say something. I'll let you get off the runway first, but the one thing you could have done was just add a touch, because you were descending at about 500 feet per minute. Let's get off the runway, because this car is going to come down here and assume he has the right of way. And we're an airplane on the runway of an airport, so I think we're going to use our right of way here.
Flying W Sky 862 clear runway 1, flying W.
Let's pull up 2 plane lengths, and then this car can deal with it. Just stay right on the yellow line. So the one thing we could have done was just add about 50 RPMs. You'll see on the video we were descending at about 500 feet per minute, and if we had just added 50 RPMs, it would have broken your descent rate and given you some forward speed. But
okay, I was just worried about the back pressure, because if I put too much, then we're gonna
but we were. So you'll see on the video you were descending at 500 feet per minute at the end of the runway, and we needed to arrest that descent rate. So the only way to do that effectively is with some very gentle back pressure and a lot of experience, or just adding a really small amount of power would have done it. Okay, whenever you're ready, all right, still talking.
Flight W traffic, arrow midfield, right on wind 1, flying W.
Okay, so arrow midfield, I don't know what he's doing, but he is coming overhead somewhere, so we'll keep an eye out for him.
He's overflying?
I think he's getting into the pattern, yeah. He entered midfield.
Got it.
I think he actually came in on some kind of backwards 45. Okay, not bad though. You weren't going to get killed, right? You just slammed the plane onto the ground on the nose wheel, but you wouldn't have died. But Robert will probably be taking your picture when you solo, so you're going to want to make this a greaser, right? Nice and smooth. Something that when you're watching it, you're going to be really happy.
South Jersey traffic, Skyhawk 20105 is left.
Look at this guy, man.
08.
This guy's coming in really fast.
Line of your traffic, arrow final 1 full.
Such a this guy's just being a nut. That was not even a downwind base or final. He just comes flying in here, full speed, no flaps.
Line of your traffic, diamond holding short, runway 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like an aircraft carrier landing he's doing here. Or a combat landing. So, it's working out for him now. Nice slip to a landing, and he straightened it out.
He's maybe a Vietnam guy.
See, there's the speed he didn't let out, though.
Turning right downwind for runway 2.
So look at that. He's now 3/4 down the runway, and he still didn't touch down yet, did he?
Nope. He's still floating.
He's still floating. So
I can't really look because I got to steer this thing, but
So that's the problem with doing something like that. You end up, there's procedures for a reason. You want to get nice and, he never got established. He was never established. That was never a stabilized approach. He just...
Flying W traffic, diamond departing 1, flying W.
Flying W traffic, arrow clear runway 1, flying W.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that kind of stuff, but he's obviously, that's his way of flying. And every once in a while you're going to come out here and there's going to be some guy in the farm field or in the woods. Where are we going?
Just going to swing it wide here. Because I don't like to be over the runway. A lot of people cut it really, really tight. So,
got it.
We're just going to line up. Nice distance.
Just be aware when you go to a tower-controlled field, they're going to expect you to stay on the taxiway center lines unless you're off doing a run-up on an approved run-up area somewhere. Okay.
Nice, lights are all on. Takeoff, both, heading, just did that. Full rich, visually confirmed, flaps are up. Alright, where's that guy?
He's departing, so you can probably get out there before the...
Alright. Flying W Skyhawk 862, departing runway 1, close traffic, flying W.
Flying W traffic, Diamond turning right crosswind.
Yeah, so he's no factor. The Diamond, there is somebody flying out over here somewhere, but they look like they're just transiting the area, so we'll keep an eye out for them.
Flying W traffic, Diamond turning downwind, runway 1. Flying W.
On airspeed. Rotating.
Nice, that's a good departure. So I like to call out here that I have a positive rate of climb, safe airspeed of 79 knots. I'm at 200 feet right now, and I'm going to be clear of the wires. Everything looks green, right? Yep. Tracking pretty nicely off the runway. Ooh.
And cross speed traffic to the skyline, over 5 field. Gonna turn around, we set up for runway 9.
Okay, so beautiful day out here.
Flying W Sky 862 turning downwind runway 1 flying W. Oh, rough on the turn.
Liquid traffic, 73335 will be departing to the west. Liquid traffic.
So one of the questions on the test that I gave you is what happens if the door opens in flight?
Oh, hell no.
So the door is open right now, isn't it?
Close it and lock it.
No, that's not the answer. The answer is you are flying the plane, right?
Yep.
And I just accidentally opened your door, and what's happening?
Nothing.
Okay, is there any little kids or a dog in the back seat?
Nope.
Okay, so you're flying the plane. People get killed all the time because they try to close the door. So what's one thing you could do right now? You have an emergency, the door's open.
Land.
Well, you could land. Nothing bad's going to happen. You'll probably break the door. What else could you do?
Fly.
You definitely are going to fly, so what else can you do?
Cessna 734.
Yell at your passenger to close the door.
Okay. How about if I do that?
About 2.5 miles to the
There you go.
Door's closed, Mark.
For landing.
So, what if you didn't have a passenger?
Fly.
Just keep flying the plane. So there's three things. There's this oil door, there's the door on that side, the door on this side, two doors, and you got the baggage door. None of them impact flight in this airplane. So if any of them open, unless there's a little kid in the back seat that's not buckled, keep flying the plane. That's why everyone should always have a seatbelt on.
Flying W Sky 862 turning base runway 1 flying W.
Oh man, you have another emergency. You're not going to believe this. I just looked down and I saw I have a flat tire on the side. This is simulated. That's the other question on the test, right?
Yep.
So I can look down here and I can see my tires flat. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try to land on the left.
No, you're not.
Flying W Sky 862 turning final runway 1 flying W.
If I really wanted to do this, I can't flatten the tire. I could if I brought a BB gun or something, but. Okay, so I want to see you not land on my wheel, so this is going to be tricky, right?
Oh, are you serious now?
Hey, you're going to just try and. Well, so listen, if I have a flat tire, it's going to put a lot of friction on this side, and it's going to pull the plane. It's going to be like you have one brake on. So I want you to try and land as gently as you can on my wheel. So I want you to try and touch down on your wheel first, and I'll make sure you don't do anything stupid. because the wind is coming from that way a little, so you really do want to land on my wheel, but you can't because it's flat. So I want you to try to just put a little bit of pressure on your side, not the nose wheel. So here's that 500 foot. So add a touch of power and watch what happens. Touch of power, nose up, just a hair. Okay. Just to work the power back. It's okay.
Damn it.
It's okay. So I gave you a lot of stuff going on there. So we were descending at 500 feet per minute again. I'm just going to pull back on this with you. We just want to slow way down before we start turning. Otherwise, we could have a wing strike. There you go. Yeah, I gave you a lot of emergencies there. So. So I want you to keep an eye on your airspeed indicator on the descent. So one thing you can do is fly this. You can fly, go ahead and finish your after landing checklist, and I'm going to tell you 2 things that can help here. And one of them is just a recommendation, but I think you'll find it works. So the guy that used to own FreeFlight told me that there's no cable connecting into the back of there. There's a cable with a magnet on it, and there's a magnet on the dial, and they wear out over time. So when that says 15, it really might only be giving you 13. So and I noticed this in different Cessna 172s. Older ones, sometimes this is reading less. So I fly it at 17. I want you to try it at 17 this time, and it's going to keep your descent rate at 300 feet per minute instead of 500 feet on final.
Okay.
Just give it a try. And you can always adjust the power.
Yep.
And it might be 16 is what works for you, but 15's not doing it. Every time you landed, you were descending at 500 or 600 feet per minute, and you were landing really hard and on your nose wheel. So just give it a try.
Okay.
All right. It might work for you, it might not. That's how I fly this plane. And I fly this plane a lot, and I watch people do really smooth landings and really hard landings, and I think just a touch of power helps out a lot.
Well, my landings were good yesterday. I don't know. I'm just doing what I did before.
So we're just going to try some different stuff. You know, you'll have new weapons in your arsenal of landing techniques. So you just did a door open emergency. Nothing happened, right? The door we're going 100 miles an hour. The door's not going to open. And then the tire thing, you know, in reality, if you have a flat main gear tire, you got to be really ready for some rough. It's going to be very rough when you touch down. Your plane's going to pull really, really hard to the side of the plane that has the flat tire. So
just try to bleed off as much airspeed as possible.
Yeah, that would be one thing you could do. And then you're going to want to try and land on the good tire to the best you can, which was very difficult today because we really needed to land on the bad tire because of the wind. If it was really, you know, if it was a real emergency, you could go to another airport where the wind is favoring landing on the good tire, couldn't you? And there's plenty of those around. You could go to Hamilton, you could go to Northeast Philly, you could go to South Jersey.
So that's the traffic, Cessna 734 Sierra, turning final runway 08 Soldier.
There you go. You neutralize the nose wheel before you stop. They're pretty close.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, so I say boom, 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 like that, and it's a bad habit. Okay. But you should actually be going flaps, mixture, throttle, carb heat. You know, just go through your checklist real quick.
Okay. Right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Before takeoff.
Up, usually
No, checklist.
Oh.
So I have a video of a guy going through his checklist, and he does the whole thing. He flew his whole solo like that, and I don't know how he didn't get killed. But I have it on video. He never pushed the mixture in, and that's why we have a checklist. So you just go ahead and go through it real quick.
Okay.
Call it out to yourself.
Before takeoff, flaps up as required. Visually confirm mixture, bridge set for DA, carb heat off, landing taxi lights all on, strobes on, trim, takeoff, fuel selector valve both, heading
Look down
indicator.
and just look down, really, because that's another one that kills people all the time. That's the one that really could kill you in this plane or a Piper.
Heading indicator recheck.
That says what? 135, and that says about 135, so I think you're good there.
The section's going to be off anyway. This
Yep.
doesn't matter. Transponder 1200, time, document.
Altitude 1200, that looks good, right?
VRP5, VY76, where you go complete.
What's RV speeds?
55 and 36.
Okay. I concur with everything you just said. I'm going to do my check. Circuit breakers are all in.
All right.
Nobody in the pattern. Time for a radio call.
Flying W Skog 862, departing runway 1, close traffic, flying W. All right.
So is there anything that Robert's teaching you that is really different than what I've told you that might have caused you any confusion before you start your solo? And you don't have to tell me right this second, but start thinking about that.
Really,
well, not really different, any different. There's different teaching styles, but if there's something dramatically different or misinterpreted, we should talk about that.
I mean, mainly he's very strict on like, for like setting up for landing, like 1500, only flaps in the white arc, like do not, airspeed green, rotating, do not like put in anything other than that.
Okay, well you can walk me through that.
Like with the rules.
Oh, you mean 1500 RPMs?
Ah, yes.
Okay.
What is going on? I'm getting thrown around.
Yeah, there was an air met for turbulence. I think it's still in effect. I'm going to check it right now while you're flying the plane.
Runway,
Yeah, let's see. Let's throw that layer back on. Airmet segment layer. Okay, so we have an airmet for turbulence for flight levels 22,000 to 41,000. So that's not really us, but
Yeah,
if there's turbulence above, there could be some unstable air below. We'll see.
There is a turbulence warning for my senior class trip out of Delaware.
Where are you going?
We went to Disney.
Oh, you already went?
Yeah. No, we were in the plane and we were sitting there and nobody knew what was happening. So I pulled up the National Weather Service and there was a turbulence warning. That's why ATC delayed us.
You flew out of Delaware?
Yeah.
Why? Where in Delaware?
It was the cheapest. ILG.
Is that Wilmington? Yeah.
Yes. Flying W Skog 862, turning downwind, runway 1, flying W.
Anybody get in trouble and have to get sent home?
No, surprisingly.
That is surprising. My wife said every year, like 3 or 4 kids have to get sent home.
People got yelled at actually for...
Just watch your 1049.
Yeah, I got
We're gonna try and do everything perfect today.
I'm gonna bring her down a little bit. People got yelled at for, I think, cutting in lines and whatnot, but other than that, like, nobody got sent home.
Good. Yeah, getting sent home is a big deal.
Midfield, yep. First notch, found it, nose down.
Just a little bit. So this, you want to get that rated about 300. And this is a lagging instrument, so you gotta kind of use your sight picture and just let that thing stabilize. But so that's 17. Try 16 and see if that works.
East traffic, use caution in the vicinity of Cross-Keys, skydiving in 2 minutes, 5,000 and below. Parachute over Cross-Keys Airport, 2 minutes, 5,000 and below.
Flying W Skog 862, turning base, runway 1, flying W.
It is good to follow exactly the POH, but sometimes there's a reason, and I never knew that. Frank was telling me that that magnet wears out, and sometimes you get a
found it.
different reading.
Nose down. Yeah, no, sometimes I have to put power in on final. Like, it's fine. I'm just gonna do my thing here.
Yep.
What do you look like right now?
So see, your nose is kind of up a little bit, so this is where people get in trouble here, but this looks, I like that you're gonna be stabilized at 450 feet here, or 400 feet.
Flying W, Scott 862 on final, runway 1, Flying W.
So now what's the PAPI telling us?
We're high.
Yeah, just a little bit. So
pull the power out,
don't pull it way out though.
So.
Just take 50 RPMs out and see what happens.
Then I'm gonna watch my speed.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna have her lined up just like this. I'm just trying to get a normal, smooth landing.
So you got a little bump of wind, but you don't overreact. You did good. You didn't overreact to that little bump. That was just a little
I hate
thermal.
these trees on a final for this runway. It's annoying.
You should.
Oh, Jesus
Just
Christ.
relax.
All right,
just relax. Just take a little power out.
No, I got it. Don't worry. I got control of this airplane. We're going to use up some extra runway here. But fine.
Start
bird.
Just
nice.
Just a little back pressure and a little right rudder. Yeah, so you landed on the nose wheel really hard again. You landed only on the nose wheel that time. So we're going to go, the next one we're going to do, so let's start braking a little now so we don't, we're not getting off here, never mind. The next one, because we did that like 3 times in a row maybe, or 4 times, whatever we did. So we're just going to, that was your 3rd or 4th one where we landed directly on the nose wheel. So we're going to just do a little dual flight practice today to see if we can...
No, I can do it, just, I don't know.
So we're going to move up 2 plane lengths, stop, do the after landing checklist before we forget, because you don't want to taxi by Barbara's window with your flaps down. And
up, in, lean. Flaps are up, visually check that, take off.
By the way, Mark, take a look at your pattern. Each pattern, you're flying a really, really wide crosswind, and then almost a 30-degree downwind, and then no base leg. So that's definitely contributing to you. So this is too long of a leg, and this is too short of a leg. So let's turn a little sooner, fly over the middle to the outside of the nursery, and then let's give ourselves a nice base.
Okay.
Because your base is half the width of your crosswind, so let's make those a little more even. All set.
All right.
It's a really consistent angle too. So I think it's mostly the crosswind is too long. The base could be a little wider.
Okay.
I actually have some markers on here.
I just want to turn really tight on the
Please do not overfly.
But you're just a little bit overshot on the crosswind. I have actually markers of what I think is like the normal student pilot, and you're definitely overshooting the crosswind and undershooting the base. But only by 1/8 of a mile or something. Okay, so let's do a really good one this time. Let's land on the main gear, hold the nose wheel off the ground like we're landing. Just pretend you're landing in grass, right?
Got it.
If you've been in a soft field, a turf field like we did a couple weeks ago, and you land on the nose wheel, plane's going to cartwheel. And you may or may not survive that. So you got an iPad, you just didn't set it up yet?
Yes.
Okay. So first thing you want to do is get a free 90-day FreeFlight subscription. I think they still have that. I'm assuming you're going to want to use FreeFlight, right? I use both, but it seems like every young person uses FreeFlight. Unless they have Garmin in their plane or something. So did you do your college acceptance thing?
Yes.
Done? Where is it you're going again?
Florida Tech.
Florida Tech. So that'll be exciting, right?
Yes.
What town is that? Tampa?
Melbourne.
Is that near Tampa? I don't know where.
It's an hour south of Daytona Beach, if you know where that is.
So that's west side.
Yeah, like 2
no,
hours.
Sorry, east side.
Yeah, 2.5 hours north of Miami.
Okay. Oh, wow. That'll be a different environment from New Jersey. So whenever you do this, always neutralize your nose wheel, because you got the left rudder stuck all the way down. And when you go to start moving forward, you're going to want to naturally turn that way, and you're going to have to put a lot of stress on the nose gear linkage and springs. And okay. Anyway, my check is good. Circuit breakers all look good. Primer's locked. Nobody in the pattern. It's all you.
Flying W Scott 862, departing runway 1, close traffic, flying W. Alright. A lot of birds out today.
Yeah. It's that time of year. They have to eat things and make nests and kill rodents, and starting to get really green, man. The leaves just started coming out. Okay. Nobody on the runway, right? You know you can't see the other end of this runway, so that's why we make lots of radio calls here. We got about 3 knots of wind coming from front or side, variable.
Come on.
Let's get back at the center line, because you don't want to hit your mom up here.
Alright, well, we gotta...
Way past rotation
We
speed.
gotta rotate, yeah. I'll just find it in the air.
Good. Good tracking the runway center line through the trees. You don't want to get near those trees. A lot of people think the trees are soft. They look fake, but they're real. Real branches.
Harper got 4 canopies out over Harper.
We're not making this too steep of a bank here. As we're zooming at 90 miles an hour.
Cross-east traffic, use caution, skydive in 2 minutes, 130.
All looks good to me. Positive rate of climb, safe airspeed of 88.
Yep, roughly.
Yep, you got a good climb rate, lots of power. There you go.
Flying W Sky 862, turning downwind, runway 1, flying W.
I don't see anybody else here.
Nope.
So get your eyes on the runway, and let's fly a really nice rectangular course using any wind correction.
Yeah, the runway kind of goes at an angle, so it's just...
Well, the runway goes to an angle to what? The runway is what we're tracking, so we're going on an angle.
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, you're 100 feet high, so fix that. Yeah, the runway is not moving. That's our reference line. We were at an angle. This looks way better, by the way. I don't know what the wind is aloft, but we can find out real quick. Feels like it must have been coming from that way.
Oh, now I got you inside. I didn't hear anything.
So the wind at 3,000 feet was from 041. So that's back here. So there's a wind pushing you from quartering tailwind right now at 3,000. It's only 6 knots, so this is not significant. So I like this distance from the horse track. Just look out there and make that a good visual reference. We don't want to be too much closer.
Flying W Sky 862, turning base, runway 1, flying W.
focus this time when we get down to the runway environment is going to be not landing on the nose wheel. We're just going to add pressure. We're just going to add a little bit of ever-increasing back pressure. It's more of a squeeze than a pullback.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 is turning, final runway 1, flying W.
Until the traffic, be advised, cap 2917 middle ring over the reservoir.
They're still at 550 feet, so we know we're going to be high, but you will be stable. So now you just have to get yourself aligned, and you know the wind's coming 30 degrees from your runway heading from the right. At least it was at 3,000, so we'll see what it feels like down here. Okay, now you're all nice and lined up. You're just maybe 50 feet above the glide path, which is good because there's trees here.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with this. So just look down here real quick and see you're descending at 500 feet per minute. You got 3,400 feet of runway left. Now here's where you need a touch of power and just hold this back. I'm just gonna
I got it.
lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it. There you go. Now you got it. Still landed on the nose wheel though. You let go. So every second, just count to yourself 1/1000. You're losing lift. So as the plane slows down, the wing develops less lift. And as there's less lift to hold up this 2,400 pound airplane, it sinks faster. So as you're slowing down, you need more and more and more back pressure. So you had it set there for a second, but you stopped pulling back. So next time, just try really gentle pressure and don't stop the pressure. Okay. You should feel like the nose wheel's not on the ground because it's not supposed to be yet. There are times when you do want to plant this thing firmly on the ground if you have a hard crosswind, gusty conditions. And when you get to the airline, they're going to teach you that. They're going to want you to have a firm landing as soon as possible.
Boom, boom. All right, set for takeoff, both. Lean this out, flaps up. What time is it, just for reference?
2:30, 2:29.
Okay, got it.
You've been airborne for about 40 minutes probably. I didn't set this.
Midfield right, downwind runway 9er, across the east.
I got here at 1. We probably took off at 1:30, right?
Probably.
I don't know. I don't feel like we've been flying for an hour yet. But we've only done about 4 or 5 landings, but we've done full stop every time. And the reason we're doing full stop is we're getting ready to solo here, and
That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, this is going to be your solos. You're going to typically do 3 of these, and unless there's a problem, and what would the problem be?
An emergency or?
Well, something happens to the airplane and you're not comfortable, mechanical problem or control issue or radio issue. But more importantly, if your instructor's standing here and you land on the nose wheel, he might say, hey, you know what? Bring that thing back in. That was dangerous. Because if you land on the nose wheel, you can lose control of the plane really quickly when it bounces. So that's why we want to kind of get this perfect today, so you and Robert can have an uneventful day on Tuesday, weather permitting.
Okay.
So these guys, man, this is a lot of work cleaning up this banner toe. They've been out here for 45 minutes since they dropped that. So that looks like a 172, right, that they're towing in?
Yeah, maybe 152.
It might be a, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's got like a really solid color scheme. Probably got a special engine though, because those banners are gigantic drags. I haven't seen the helicopter here for a couple weeks, have you?
Yep.
It's been gone, right? I wonder if they moved it. Okay, what do we got to do here? So remember, neutralize the nose wheel. Yep.
Yep.
A lot of small parts in there.
Up. Visually confirm that.
Checklist, ma'am. Oh. Yeah, you are 100% checklist from now on.
Except for DA, carb heat on. All of our lights are on. Trim set for takeoff, fuel both. Heading indicator, recheck. That looks good actually. Transponder 12 altitude, time note. VR55 UI 76.
Do not try to fly this plane without that checklist because very bad things happen. There's a couple times you're not going to use a checklist, and those are emergency procedures that are memory items, but we're not there yet. So one of them is best glide. If you lose an engine, you're right down to best glide.
Okay.
Okay.
Regional traffic helicopter 10 miles to the north-north.
I'll let you do your thing.
Flying W Skyhawk 862, departing runway 1, close traffic, flying W.
Yeah, when you get to your multi-engine, there's a lot of memory items you have to have, but in this plane, for the most part, you're checking everything with the checklist, and people who don't do that get really, they get really lazy and start thinking they're smarter than everybody else, and then they do something really dumb. Okay, so I don't think we have a tailwind, but we don't have a headwind, so just be aware. And our airspeed indicator measures relative wind. So when you get to your normal rotation speed, just rotate normally.
Alright, here we go, rotating. Oh, nice, smooth, off the ground.
That was very nice and smooth. And just maintain runway heading over the center line till you're clear of these trees. Nice. Have you done any stall practice?
Of course.
No, I mean, you've been doing some of that with Robert or with Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to make sure before we land that there's nothing that you haven't done. So I'll wait till you're established on your downwind.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'll do it. I'll ask you these questions after we land next time, so we're not interrupting your flow here. Just want to make sure, because if there's anything you haven't done, we can do it right now.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 is turning base, or correction, downwind. Flying W. I don't know why I keep messing that up.
Have you done this? Yeah.
Local traffic, 11 Charlie.
Have you done any slips to a landing? Forward slips?
Traffic, Skyhawk is now...
What is that exactly? Because I may have done it and I just don't remember.
White traffic.
That's where you would have aileron and opposite rudder in to induce, to create a really serious drag to lose altitude very rapidly. Do you know what you're not allowed to have when you're doing a forward slip in this plane?
I believe flaps, right?
Full flaps. So you can't. Most of these Skyhawks indicate no full flaps in a forward slip. So you can use the first 2 notches, or if you got 40-degree flaps, you can use the first 3. But no full flaps with a forward slip puts too much stress on the flap mechanism and the wing.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 turning base, runway 1, flying W.
Keep an eye on that ball and just add a little right rudder and you'll have a nice coordinated turn.
Bring it miles away from the airport on the northerly heading. See you later.
So, you think we're going to be high or low right here?
I think that I'm going to be perfect once I set this up.
All right, we'll see.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 turning final, runway 1, flying W.
Liquid traffic, 11 Charlie is turning 1 mile final, 6 liquid, touch and go.
So just look down at your vertical speed indicator real quick and make sure we're somewhere around 250 to 300 feet per minute. And Or be aware if it's more than that anyway.
Helicopter at the airport boundary.
There you go. That was a good little power correction. And you're at 16 right now, and this feels really good to me.
Southeast traffic, Skyway final runway 9 cross.
So now you're crossing the trees. You can, you know, I like to work the power route in like 50 to 100 RPM increments, but you got lots of runway. This is where you want to hold the nose off when you get down. So there's about 5, nose up, landed on the nose wheel again. That was like all 3 wheels touched down at once again. And so whenever you're touching down all 3 wheels at once, you're landing on the nose wheel.
Traffic, helicopter crossing the runway now, runway 6.
Okay.
What we should do is put the, I don't have the attachment, if we put the GoPro on the belly of the plane and you see how badly we're smashing that nose strut, that would solve your problem instantly.
My mom, I think, has video of it, so I'll look at it.
No, I mean when you can see it from like 5 feet away. When you see that nose wheel strut compress all the way and slam on the shock.
Flying W Skyhawk 862, clear runway 1, flying W. Up, in, set for takeoff, both, lean for taxi. Nice. All right, lights are good, circuit breakers are good.
Okay, so here are the maneuvers required. Bus you for pre-solo flight training in a single engine airplane. You can go ahead and taxi. I'm just going to read them to you. You needed to have been trained on the following maneuvers. Proper flight preparation procedures, including pre-flight planning.
Did that.
So you seem like you have the pre-flight of the aircraft down. That's not, you know, you're not ready for a cross-country pre-flight yet, but power plant operation and aircraft systems, taxiing and surface operations, including run-up. Seem like you can do that. Just make sure you're using the checklist. Takeoff and landing, including normal and crosswind. Straight and level flight and turns in both directions, so you definitely can do that. Climbs and climbing turns, I know you can do that. Airport patterns, you seem very familiar with this airport pattern, which is important. Departure procedures, collision avoidance, wind shear avoidance, and wake turbulence avoidance. So, collision avoidance is, in your case, it's see and avoid, unless you have your iPad and an ADS-B. So, you solo with Robert, he can do some. Are you dragging the brakes at all right now? Because you got 1,300 RPMs, you need about 9. So pull it all the way back to 9, you're going downhill. Because if you just keep dragging these brakes, you're going to burn the whole tire up, the wheel. Okay. And you should be able to feel that too, that, you know, you got power and brakes on at the same time. Traffic patterns, entry and departure procedures, collision avoidance. So wake turbulence is not a big issue here with heavy aircraft that are slow and heavy, but we do have helicopters here, and there is a danger whenever you're near a helicopter that you could have some kind of rotating force from wind. Some of these helicopters are really small, but the medical helicopters and the military helicopters are big, and the state police. Neutralize the nose wheel before you stop. Okay, descents with and without turns using high and low drag, flight various airspeeds.
Takeoff, both.
This is all your this is all your stall entry.
That's all on.
I'll read the rest of those to you when we do it again. Okay.
All right. Flying W, Skyhawk 862 is departing runway 1, closed traffic, flying W.
So those last 2 patterns were really nice and rectangular for the most part, which is good. We fixed that problem. little bit of right rudder because we're going off the runway. There you go.
And let's rotate.
So you can trade a lot of that airspeed for altitude right now. You're at 91 knots. What do we need to be, 73 or 76?
76.
76. There you go, that's 76 right there. Especially when there's wires in front of you, because it'll be summertime soon here and you'll need all the altitude you can get.
Local traffic on runway 7882, speed running base runway 6 liquid. Cross traffic is crossing skydiving 2 minutes, 137,500 and below. 2 minutes, skydiving 137,500 and below, cross speed.
Flying W Sky 862 turning downwind, runway 1 flying W.
Final runway 6 liquid.
So just have a look out there and trying to get yourself nice and parallel. The horse track, we want to be about an 1/8 to a 1/4 mile away from that. Give yourself a nice base leg.
We're turning left runway 06.
First notch, nose down. See anybody?
I do not. It looks like I was just checking my video is still running, and this looks really good, nice square. One thing you can do is fly a little bit past the horse track too, and give yourself a little more room.
Okay.
There you go. Kind of before that big commons of woods there, or this pond maybe. This pond is a good place to be flying over.
I thought we weren't supposed to be like flying over the houses and whatnot.
Well,
I don't really care. I just don't.
Well, no, you shouldn't be flying over. So there's the Wawa. Whenever you come past the Wawa right there, you know you've gone pretty far. But listen, those people in those houses,
they made their choice.
They live next to an airport, so I'm trying to make a safe landing. It's kind of hard not to fly over these houses. They're on the final approach course.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 is on base and turning final, runway 1.
There you go. So I feel like we were getting a little slow and descending. Now you've added some power, and this looks really good. So when we get down to about 5 feet off the ground, we're going to start really thinking hard about a continuous back pressure until the nose wheel touches the runway by itself. So we don't have a giant crosswind today, just really light variable winds. We're going to try and get down to the You're using your throttle to control your descent rate and your speed. That's good. Got full flaps.
A little bit turbulent here on the final.
It's all right. Listen, you seem fairly comfortable. Just relax. Nice, easy.
I got it.
Nice, easy control inputs. So here goes the big descent. We just descended. Just add some power, just a little, and lift the nose up. Ready? Let's add a little power. Just add a little power. Ready? We're just gonna fly this thing down to the runway, and I'm holding this nose wheel off the runway. Look, you can fly all the way down and watch it. It's gonna come down by itself. You take the power out though, and watch. This is how we should land all the time. Nose wheel's still up off the ground. You can, we'll back taxi here, ready?
Yep.
Let me just turn you around because I made you do that. There you go.
Skyhawk 20105, requesting frequency change.
There you go. You want to hold that thing off, because whenever that nose wheel hits first, you're going to get a reaction off of that front shock, and it's always going to be a surprise, and it's always going to lead to some loss of control.
Okay, go again.
You want to do one more? I think you got time to do one more.
All right.
Was there anyone right after you?
I don't believe so.
There probably was, but we'll be back fast.
Okay.
We'll put it right away.
Robert Lake's always packing in a little early.
Well, I want to be able to tell Robert that you did like 10 or 15 landings today.
Did I? Didn't feel like it.
No. Well, we did all taxi back, so. You still have about 14 minutes, and we'll do one.
Cross-East Traffic Caravan, high, right crosswind runway 9er. Any traffic, please advise.
While you're doing that, I just want to see if there is anybody behind you. What are we in?
You got you in sight, Harry, no factor.
6-2. I'm going to swing it wide around these
Hey,
guys.
Yep, good idea.
What's the deal with that Bonanza over there? This kind of sits, doesn't work.
That looks like a lawn ornament to me, but you never know. I don't know why it would be over there. So it's a possibility that somebody left that here and didn't pay their rent, you know, and as a result, they moved it over there so they could make room for another plane to use the actual ramp area.
Got some birds.
Oh, that's not what I want. Schedules today. All right, so we're in 62862, right?
Yep.
East Caravan, high, right, downwind, runway 9er, number 2, cross east.
So Mel is in this plane next. That's my student. He's just going to need gas, so I might, maybe we'll park this thing by the gazebo and
Okay. All right.
save you some time.
Up, in.
South Jersey Regional Traffic, Skyhawk 20105, about 4 miles
Watch your
to the
knees.
south.
We got to do free and
Yep.
correct here.
Yep.
Left downwind for runway
Boom.
08, 20105.
Both. Take
South
off.
Jersey.
Got that. Lake's
Okay,
on.
my check.
Circuits are in.
Everything. So, you ready to go?
I am.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at this.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to tell you, that's what my student did. Get your checklist and do it again, because this will kill you. If you take off with this thing out, you will be dead before you get to the end of the runway.
All right. Flaps is required. Visually confirmed. Make sure rich set for DA. Carb heat in.
I need you to remember that. You got to use that paper checklist every single time.
Okay.
If you take off and this thing is out here, it seems like the engine's still running, right? But when you add this, you're not going to get full power, and you'll get about 100 feet off the end of the runway. The plane's going to conk out, and you're going to go, oh, I got to, you know, somehow glide this thing, and the plane's just going to flip over, and you're going to be dead.
Okay.
So I've seen someone do this before recently, and it's because they weren't reading the checklist and touching everything. So just do the whole thing over pre-takeoff. Because if you get killed, I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do.
Make sure rich set for DA.
There you go.
Carb
You got it.
heat off. Landing. Taxi lights. All lights on. Strobes are on right there. Trim set for takeoff. Fuel selector valve both. Heading indicator recheck.
142. Looks pretty good there. Yeah, good mark.
Transponder 1200 altitude time document.
I got a timer run.
And
we only had 25 gallons of gas, but I know we weren't out for 2 hours yet, so we're good there.
All right.
We need a 30-minute reserve for VFR day, right?
Yep.
Okay, all yours, buddy.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 departing runway 1, closed traffic, Flying W.
Yeah, so I check every single time before we take off after the student does the pre-takeoff checklist because I don't want to get killed. And I've seen, if you do this, you know, and you're going to be a flight instructor, and you're going to realize students are not paying attention because this is all novel to them, and you're not going to want to get killed when you're a flight instructor. All right, ready, Mark?
Yep.
This has to be a good one.
All right, let me check.
Wind is right down the runway, slightly variable, but maybe 4 knots. What are these guys doing, man? They're walking this plane down.
Airspeed green. Let's rotate.
Looks good, looks good, looks good. All looks good. Airspeed 76, positive rate of climb of 500 feet per minute. You are clear of the trees. Next obstacle is power lines at 200 feet. Man, what's going on down here? Got all kinds of police. Oh, there's an ambulance. Doesn't look good.
South Jersey Regional Traffic, Skyhawk 20105, left downwind 08, South Jersey.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 is turning downwind runway 1, flying W.
Get your ball.
Yep, I got
that thing nice and centered. That thing's there for a reason, and it really does make the turn coordinated. Okay, so have a look over at your runway, get nice and parallel to it. There you go. Really clear out here today. Okay, we are midfield right downwind, and we're at 1049. Perfect. You got the carb heat coming on. Lift the nose a little bit, get under whatever it is. It was 110, not 115, I told you last time, right?
Yeah, I like to do it at 80 though.
Yeah, that's okay, but just so you know, the PO8 says you can drop the first notch flaps 10 degrees at 110 knots. If you need to, because that'll help you slow down. You can wait till you're in the white arc. What you can't do is drop the second one before you're in the white arc. This looks really good, airspeed's perfect. You're about 79 and slowing. Alright, so this time, we're just going to try and touch down on the main gear.
Flying W Skyhawk 862 is turning base runway 1, flying W.
South Jersey Traffic, Skyhawk
There's people on the runway, so I gotta... Well, there's people on the ramp, so I gotta make sure they're not gonna come out onto the runway while I'm doing this.
Yeah, I don't know what I think that may have been 2 mechanics. They couldn't get a plane started. I don't know what they were up to, but usually they use a golf cart for that. This looks...
Flying W Skyhawk 862 is turning final runway 1, flying W.
This looks good. You're going to be a tad high, but you do have trees on the approach, so, and you have a 3,400 foot runway. So let's just gently intercept that. And you're going to be nice and established at 500 feet here. There's 500 feet. So I would maybe take out 50 RPMs here and just see what happens. If you need to add it back in, you can add it back in gently. The wind is saying the wind is just coming off the left side of the nose, 10 degrees, 20 degrees. So this says 500-600 feet per minute, so that you just know you're going to need to break your descent rate a little bit when you get down to the runway environment. So I'd start working your power back very slowly. Got 3,300 feet of runway left. Right rudder, nose up, nose up, nose up. Just a little power, just hold it back. There you go. You just re-land it. So now we got to get that. We got to get that nose wheel up. There you go. So we don't have time to do another one. Let's get on these brakes so we can slow down before we.
Oh yeah, Robert does not like me doing that.
What's that?
Robert likes to slow way down.
Well, you have to because this plane will literally tip over. Even though it has a very wide landing gear profile, it will, you know, especially if there's a little wind. I've seen people like come taxiing off going, you know, 15 knots.
No, like he like wants to like get to almost stop before we put brakes on. Like he wants to pull it back instead of braking.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to be braking too hard in these planes because.
Like what you just did. Like he would yell at me. Flying W Skyhawk 862 is clear, runway 1, Flying W.
I just didn't want you to have to go all the way down to the end of the runway, but
okay.
So Mel is going to need fuel. So why don't we I'm going to park this right up here after you're done your after landing checklist.
Yep, there we go. Set for takeoff. In, up, carb heat. Let's lean this out a little bit. We're on both. Our lights are on. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna put this right here because we're a little bit late, and I just want him to be able to jump in here and get going, and he can get some fuel too. I'll probably get in trouble, but
they parked a FreeFlight plane over here a minute ago.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't like us parking here because it's transient, but we're like 5 minutes late, and
who's got, like nobody comes here.
No, they do. Sometimes there's a lot of planes here, so. One thing, you always want to be careful if you do this. It looks like we're clear, but you got to make sure we didn't hit our tail. All right, I'm going to let you do the after landing.
All right, after
Shut
landing.
Down.
Here we go. Let me get the Avionics Master.